Welcome to Whispers and Confessions. There might be a twist waiting, so please make sure to watch until the end. Don't forget to subscribe and like. Let's begin right away.
She stood up and turned off the lights, then slowly began to undress. As the moonlight streamed through the window, her beautiful silhouette emerged from the shadows. She took my breath away, even more stunning than I had imagined. The moonlight traced along her figure, highlighting her elegant neck, flowing down across her curves and dancing along her smooth skin. On a sweltering summer day, I dragged myself home from work, exhausted as usual. My shirt was drenched with sweat as I slowly walked to my apartment. Getting off the elevator and walking down the hallway, I looked forward to my wife's home-cooked dinner. "I'm home," I called out as I opened the door, but a stranger's voice answered back. To my surprise, there in the kitchen stood not my wife, but a stunning woman with porcelain skin, wearing a pink apron. She greeted me with a warm smile and said, "Let's have dinner, honey." Completely confused, I glanced around. Am I in the wrong apartment? But no, the familiar layout of our furniture and our wedding photo on the wall confirmed this was definitely my place. Seeing my confusion, she spoke gently. "Don't worry, you're in the right place. Starting today, I'll be your wife for a while." "What?" I stammered, my voice shaking. I searched the apartment frantically, but my wife was nowhere in sight. Meanwhile, this mysterious woman moved about as comfortably as if she'd lived here forever. The dining table was beautifully set with an elaborate meal. "Where's my wife, Rita?" I asked anxiously, my heart pounding at this bizarre situation. She responded with a serene smile. "Rita's at our house with my husband. She's probably cooking dinner for him just like I am for you. Everything's been arranged, so there's no need to worry." "What are you?" Before I could finish, she cut in firmly. "We've begun a spouse exchange program today." Her voice was steady, but I felt like I'd been hit by a truck. The whole thing seemed surreal. "Please, sit down and eat before the food gets cold." She pointed to the well-set table. Despite my confusion, my empty stomach won over. As I sat across from her, I noticed her shiny brown hair tied back neatly and her kind eyes. The soft lighting made her fair skin seem to glow. Though my heart skipped a beat at her elegant manner and kind smile, I couldn't resist my hunger, and I tentatively tried the food. "This is incredible," I blurted out. Her face lit up with joy. "That makes me so happy. Please, have some more." While Rita was a good cook too, lately she'd been stuck in a rut, making the same dishes over and over. Tasting these new, thoughtfully prepared dishes reminded me what a real pleasure eating could be. As the delicious food helped me relax, I gathered my courage to ask questions. Strangely enough, I was starting to feel curious about this unusual situation. "What's your name?" I asked quietly. With a gentle smile that lit up her face, she replied, "I'm Rachel. I'm really happy to meet you this way. But how did all this come about? It seems so out of the blue." Rachel took a deep breath before beginning her story. "I actually met Rita at work a while back, and we became good friends. During our regular coffee chats, we discovered we were dealing with similar issues. I never imagined our casual conversations would lead us down this path." As I watched her with intense curiosity, she continued speaking, her eyes bright in the candlelight. "Those similar issues. We both felt we needed to exchange husbands." Rachel spoke confidently, which caught me off guard. "Oh." I exhaled heavily. The thought that my wife wanted to swap husbands. Now that I think about it, there had been warning signs. We weren't exactly unhappy or sick of each other, but lately, she'd seemed unfulfilled. Still, addressing it this way, maybe if we just kept going as we were, nothing would have changed at all. A wave of anger suddenly hit me. How could my wife make such a life-changing decision without even talking to me first? Marriage is built on trust and open communication, but Rita had completely disregarded both. Sure, I hadn't been the most attentive husband lately, but wasn't this taking things way too far? Yet guilt crept in alongside the anger. Perhaps I should have been the one to start the conversation. Even though I'd noticed Rita's growing frustration, I'd lazily assumed things would work themselves out over time. Was my wife driven to such drastic measures because I'd ignored all her attempts to reach out? Still trying to process everything, I said, "A spouse exchange. Just like that, that's pretty gutsy. I can hardly believe this is real." Rachel spoke with determination. "Actually, I was the one who proposed the exchange. I thought about it for a long time before suggesting it." "Were you having problems with your husband?" I asked delicately, unable to read what her answer might be from her expression. She shook her head with a warm smile. "Not at all. I just thought we might learn something valuable from switching things up. New relationships, fresh perspectives, and don't worry, it's not permanent." "How long is this supposed to last?" My voice betrayed both my anxiety and curiosity. "Just until summer ends," she replied with quiet confidence. "A brief but meaningful chapter in our lives." Rachel's eyes met mine with genuine sincerity as she asked, "Would you let me be your wife for the summer? I'd really like to share this unique journey with you." "There's just one important rule," Rachel added seriously. "We agreed there won't be any physical intimacy during this time. The whole point is to focus on emotional connection and really understanding each other." Strangely, hearing this made me feel more comfortable about the whole situation. Getting to know someone purely for who they are. Maybe that's exactly the kind of experience we all needed. After a moment's hesitation, I found myself nodding at her heartfelt gaze. "Yes." I wondered what adventures this summer would bring us. Her face lit up. "Let's get to know each other better. What name did your wife use for you?" "I'm Robert." "Robert it is, then." Her smile radiated warmth like a perfect summer's day. "Okay." Despite my heart skipping a beat at hearing my name from this new person, her genuine warmth and beautiful smile made me feel surprisingly comfortable. I had a feeling this summer might bring something truly special. Starting the very next day, we both took time off work to spend together. Rachel lit up every room she entered with her flowing raven hair, porcelain skin, and sweet voice. She moved with natural grace, and when she smiled, the gentle crinkles around her eyes made her look as lovely as springtime. Each day brought new adventures. We'd cruise along the coast while she delightedly watched the ocean views, browse boutiques where she showed off her amazing fashion sense, stroll hand in hand on sunset-painted beaches, and share stories about classical music in cozy jazz cafes. The magic continued at home, too. She was a graceful cook, moving elegantly in her apron like a dancer. After dinner, we'd share wine on the terrace, talking about our hopes and dreams, sometimes just exchanging warm glances in comfortable silence. Every moment felt magical, like we were living in our own romantic movie. Though my heart would race whenever I saw her elegant movements and warm smile, I made sure to respect her boundaries. I knew that trying anything physical might break this beautiful connection we were building. Instead, I focused on really getting to know her and learning from our time together. As time passed, life with Rachel became filled with more and more sweet moments. The awkwardness melted away completely, and even just catching each other's eye made us feel like teenagers in love. Even without physical intimacy, her graceful presence and gentle smile never failed to make my heart flutter. It was nothing like my life with Rita. 2 years ago, I discovered Rita's affair with a colleague, which left deep scars and trust issues between us. After that, I questioned everything she did, getting anxious whenever she worked late or made weekend plans. We stopped talking much, naturally drifted apart physically, and our looks toward each other became cold and distant. But with Rachel, everything felt different. Our nightly conversations over wine grew deeper and more meaningful, often losing track of time as we shared our thoughts and feelings. As I experienced these precious moments, I finally understood what this spouse exchange program was really about. As a month went by, I felt troubled in my heart. Rita, I was worried by how my real wife's presence was slowly fading from my thoughts. I tried reaching out to her multiple times, but her phone remained off. Eventually, I realized she was deliberately avoiding contact, so I decided to stop trying to interfere with her new life. Still, this bothered me. Reflecting on my marriage with Rita, I came to understand that we never really understood each other. Simply sharing a living space wasn't enough. A real marriage requires understanding each other's feelings, noticing subtle changes, and genuinely celebrating each other's joy. My time with Rachel made me realize just how distant I'd been as a husband. Working late constantly, I failed to notice Rita feeling lonely and unfulfilled. I felt ashamed that I thought just paying the bills was enough. Looking back, maybe Rita turned to someone else because I wasn't really there for her emotionally. Then came that unexpected moment at the mall. There was Rita, walking hand in hand with a man, Rachel's husband. They looked so natural together, like they'd been a couple forever. Just as I was about to call out, Rachel gently grabbed my hand and whispered, "Let's leave them be. After all, we're starting something new ourselves, aren't we?" Her touch gave me butterflies. After carefully avoiding physical contact all this time, even this small gesture sparked intense feelings. My heart raced, my palms got sweaty, and Rachel's gentle touch felt like something we'd both been waiting for. In that moment, all my worries just melted away. "Do you think we look that comfortable together?" Rachel asked softly, her voice trembling. When I hesitated to answer, she added gently, with a hint of nervousness, "I hope we can look as happy and natural as they do." Even as questions swirled in my mind about whether this was right, we quickly left the mall. That evening, I came home to an empty house. Rachel? I was missing her. Worried sick, I searched until I found her sitting alone on a swing in the nearby park. Seeing her looking so lonely broke my heart. That's when it hit me. I had gotten so used to having her around that life without her seemed impossible. Without even thinking about it, I had desperately searched for her everywhere. "What's wrong?" I asked carefully as I approached. She looked up at me with tears in her eyes. "You actually came looking for me?" she said, her voice full of both relief and emotion. The moment I found her, all my worries vanished. I walked over and took her hand, my heart filled with relief at having her near again. Without thinking, I held her hand tighter, wanting to make this moment last forever. I could feel her fingers trembling slightly as we stood there just being there together. "You really mean?" Before I could finish, she softly cut me off. "What do I mean to you?" Her eyes showed both hope and fear. As I searched for the right words, she spoke first. "I just really hoped you would come find me. Unlike my ex-husband, you actually came looking for me. Thank you so much, Robert." Her heartfelt words touched me deeply. "Don't worry anymore. Let's head home together." After dinner that evening, Rachel's expression turned serious as she broke the silence. "I need to tell you something important," she said nervously. "This spouse exchange, it wasn't just a coincidence. I actually planned the whole thing." "You planned it?" I asked, eyebrows raised in surprise. Taking a deep breath, she began to explain, "You see, before all of this—" "Hold on," I interrupted, puzzled. "But we'd never met before this, right?" A gentle smile played across Rachel's face. "No, but Rita used to talk about you all the time. It might sound crazy, but I developed feelings for you just from hearing about you." "What exactly did Rita say?" I couldn't help but ask. She spoke enthusiastically. "She told me about your kindness, your warm heart, how you never give up, and how genuinely you care for others. I could never understand why Rita couldn't fully appreciate someone as wonderful as you." I gave a sad smile. "I know why. Rita, she's someone who needs multiple relationships. She can't be satisfied with just one person." Looking back, I was probably just another chapter in her story. Rachel nodded thoughtfully. "That's probably why she agreed to my idea so easily." Her expression grew more intense. "But I'm different. While preparing for this exchange, learning about your likes and dislikes, I found myself falling deeper and deeper. Everything about you, our matching values, similar outlooks, it all convinced me you were the one I could spend forever with." Her cheeks flushed pink. "It might sound strange, but living with you these past months has only made me more certain. I've completely fallen in love with you. Everything changed for me the moment we first met, Rachel continued, in an emotional voice. Tears sparkled in her eyes. That first night, I tried so hard to stay composed, but my heart was racing like crazy. Your warm smile, your thoughtful way of speaking, they gave me butterflies. This summer with you has been the most magical time of my life. She paused, taking a shaky breath. But I want you to know, Rita did love you, in her own way. I listened quietly, meeting her earnest gaze. Finally, Rachel lifted her chin with newfound determination. I want to give you my heart. You're the amazing person I've admired for so long. Let's invite Rita here, and you can decide, go back to your old life or start fresh with me. Her voice quivered before steadying with resolve. Actually, all the couples in the exchange program met recently to discuss making these arrangements permanent. Rita has already made her choice. Rachel nervously bit her lip, fidgeting with her clothes. I can't tell you what she decided yet. She drew a deep breath and looked straight into my eyes. I just know I don't want this beautiful summer to ever end. Are you saying you want us to stay together? My heart pounded like a teenager experiencing first love. Rachel's voice was barely above a whisper, her eyes filled with hope and fear. Everything depends on your answer now. I sighed deeply, lost in thought. I kept thinking about both of them. How about this? I said carefully. If you truly want to be with me, prove to me that you've captured my heart completely. Rachel's eyes sparkled with renewed hope. Ah, you want me to show you how sincere I am? After a moment of deep contemplation, her face softened into a warm, gentle smile. She stood up and turned off the lights, then slowly began to undress. As the moonlight streamed through the window, her beautiful silhouette emerged from the shadows. She took my breath away, even more stunning than I had imagined. The moonlight traced along her figure, highlighting her elegant neck, flowing down across her curves and dancing along her smooth skin. It had been so long since I'd been with someone intimately that I felt momentarily uncertain, but my instincts gradually took over. My heart was already racing from the moment the room went dark, and I could barely contain the electricity coursing through me. When our lips finally met, I felt Rachel's warm breath against my face. Her soft hands touched my back as I carefully wrapped my arms around her delicate waist. In the soft moonlight, our shadows merged together. As we shared our warmth, our kisses grew deeper and more passionate, feeling like a moment we had been destined for. Her perfume and silky smooth skin sent my heart racing wildly. When I felt her soft breasts press against my chest, an electrifying sensation coursed through my entire body. I tenderly kissed her breasts, savoring every moment. Her soft sighs filled the air. I carefully laid her down, showering her with tender kisses. Her scent intoxicated me, making the long wait worthwhile. As our bodies intertwined, we moved together in perfect harmony, lost in a passionate dance. I experienced a depth of joy and connection I had never known before. The room was filled with the sounds of our love and passion, the air thick with emotion. This intimate moment sealed our relationship. Throughout the night, we discovered each other completely, sharing countless intimate moments. It was clear that Rachel, like me, had been yearning for this deep connection for so long. Rachel nestled against my chest and spoke softly, amazed. You know what's fascinating? All three of us, Rachel, Rita, Robert, our names begin with R. It's like we're bound together by this letter, this little thread of destiny. Her eyes sparkled with this revelation as she drifted off to sleep in my arms. I gazed at her peaceful face, feeling completely at peace with my choice. A year later, we were enjoying a lazy afternoon at the mall when Rachel suddenly squeezed my arm excitedly. Look over there, she whispered. Following her gaze, I spotted a couple walking hand in hand, their happiness clear in the way they walked. They looked strangely familiar. Rachel's face lit up with a genuine smile. They look so content together. It makes me happy to see them doing so well. The scene felt surreal, almost like watching our own story played out by different actors. This beautiful life we now shared was all thanks to that unexpected spouse exchange last summer. My wonderful Rachel, whose name was destined to start with R, looked up at me with eyes brimming with love and happiness. "Let's go home, Robert," she asked tenderly. As we walked away, I couldn't help but smile at how fate had worked its magic. Here we were, me and Rachel, Rita and her new love, all connected by that simple letter R, each finding our own perfect happiness in our separate ways.